Thanks, really. What I'll try and do over the next 20 minutes or so is just give you a few of my thoughts on where I think some of the drug delivery technologies, or not really the technologies, but the opportunities for drug delivery system design will move over the short to medium term. I'll start with putting drug delivery into context, particularly for those who don't have a great awareness of what drug delivery is and what value it brings to medicine's development. I'll talk about some of the, as with all the other presentations, talk about some of the drivers for drug delivery technology and some of the determinant things that help to determine strategy. I'll look at some of the emerging focus areas and the thematic areas which will become important over the next few years. Touch on some other future scenarios, but also talk a little bit about some of the health warnings with drug delivery development. It's an area which can become quite sophisticated and where I guess substantial sums of money have been squandered over the years in development of very sophisticated technology. So I'll just put a bit of a health warning to that before finishing off with concluding remarks. So if you look at a textbook definition of drug delivery, it's really about the method or the process of administering a drug effectively to achieve a therapeutic benefit. So it's about delivering the drug at the right amount, the right time, the right rate, and obviously to the right site of action within the right tissues. It's about chemistry, it's about biology, but it's also about physics, it's about engineering, and it's not solely about delivering the right levels of drug to the right tissues. It's about having nice, simple, convenient systems which promote compliance, and through compliance allow those medicines to achieve maximal efficacy. If you look at this figure here, just looks at some of the different benefits which can be achieved from having an effective drug delivery system. Part of that's around improving therapeutic performance by delivering the drug more effectively to the site of action at a greater rate, at a greater extent. But also some of that's derived from the actual products which are marketed, obviously having differential advantage versus other products, having novel intellectual property which helps to protect the sales of those products for a prolonged period. So drug delivery is important not just from a biological side and achieving efficacy, but also from a commercial side. When a lot of people talk about drug delivery, they put it into very sophisticated language and can potentially use quite a bit of jargon. It's effectively quite a simple concept, and it's the balance between these three things on this triangle here. As with any drug or any drug delivery system that is developed, the ability to deliver that drug to the site of action is of course very much dependent upon the physical and chemical properties of that particular drug. And for every route of administration, obviously the biological barriers to achieving sufficient levels of exposure are obviously very different. So the dosage form which is designed, the drug delivery system, has to take into account the interactions between all these factors to achieve maximal exposure at the site of action. Oops, gone to the end there, that's all right, is it? Right. Let's get back. Here we go. So you can segment drug delivery technologies into three main segments. There's devices on one side, and devices might be around things like inhaler technologies, spacer devices, nebulizers, injection systems, drug-loaded stents, drug-loaded intrauterine devices, through to biomolecular systems. And it's just not about delivering biological molecules, vaccines, monoclonal antibodies, therapeutic proteins, but about exploiting some of the biological processes within the body to deliver drugs more effectively. So some of that might be around, for instance, piggybacking on active transport mechanisms for things like amino acids and sugars to deliver drugs more effectively across biological membranes, as an example. The mainstay of drug delivery is very much around physico-chemical principles and exploiting the physico-chemical attributes of drugs and in fact manipulating those to deliver drugs more effectively. So that might be around improving the solubility of a drug, improving the rate at which it dissolves, manipulating the aerodynamic particle size characteristics to deliver the drug more effectively into the lung to treat COPD or asthma, for instance. But what you'll find is most drug delivery systems will work upon a mixture of each of these principles, and you'll have a combination of approaches to deliver a drug more effectively. Now, drug delivery itself on the whole, doesn't probably grab as many headlines as the treatments and the medicines which are used to treat disease. Most of the headlines go to the molecules and the products. But without many of the drug delivery systems and many of the world's most effective medicines would not have reached the market without some kind of input from a drug delivery scientist. I've just tried to summarise it in brief some of the, I guess, pioneering drug delivery systems which changed the face of drug delivery and paved the way for newer and improved products to come through onto the market over a number of years. If you start in the top left-hand corner, you've got the pressurised metered dose inhaler. Was invented during the 1950s by Riker Laboratories. Actually came from the idea, I think, would have been the daughter of either the chairman or the chief executive of Riker Laboratories, who herself was an asthmatic, and wondered why she couldn't receive her asthma medication delivered in the same way as a spray from a perfume bottle. And that's where the initial idea came from. It's a handheld device, it's portable, you can carry it around in your pocket, you can deliver your medication quite quickly. It's also got a number of downsides and disadvantages to that particular technology, but nonetheless, it's been very useful and has been used in many asthma and COPD products over the last 50 years, and it's still there today. In the bottom right-hand corner, you have the Sandimmune product, which was developed by Sandoz, now part of the Novartis organisation. And this was a lipid emulsion to deliver cyclosporin A. Cyclosporin A, an immunosuppressant. The actual molecule is a cyclic oligopeptide, has big issues. Some of the physical and chemical attributes limit the level of exposure which can be achieved following administration of this particular molecule by the oral route. By delivery as a lipid emulsion, it enabled the patient to receive sufficient levels of exposure from this particular medicine, making it very convenient to use via the oral route. Subsequently been superseded by the Sandimmune, the oral product, which is even better because it allows you now to deliver it in a capsule form, so much easier to use, haven't got all the issues of undesirable taste which comes with these sorts of medications. So again, revolutionised the use of lipid-type formulations for drug products. Try not to make this the ICI roadshow, but two products which came out of ICI and Zeneca and AstraZeneca. Top right-hand corner, propofol, been in the news for all the wrong reasons, but this was a small lipophilic molecule which in its natural state is an oil, effectively, and this is a sedative hypnotic molecule used in anaesthesia. Now, in its normal state, if you try to deliver that intravenously using conventional means, it would be very difficult, not be able to dissolve it up in saline or in dextrose or any normal diluent for intravenous usage. So this has actually been formulated probably back in the 80s now as a lipid emulsion for intravenous use, pretty much based upon the types of technologies used in parenteral nutrition, but changed the face of the use of this particular molecule. And this molecule is still used effectively on the market today.